This is the Date Night Dice Podcast, a podcast mostly about board games.
Probably not.
Hello and welcome to episode number 42 of the Date Night Dice Podcast. I am Ben.
I'm Em.
And with us...
Oh man, I was ready.
I screwed it up.
The one time I was ready.
So sad.
Well, I guess.
I am so sorry. You're right. I got messed up because last week you weren't here, and so I had to introduce your absence, and that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
that
really screwed me up.
It's us just crying for a while.
Yeah, we just missed you. What were we gonna do? You're on vacation, and we're just sitting here. So we talked about that. That was about it. I would like to say, first of all, right off the bat, believe it or not, the Date Night Dice podcast has over 5,000 downloads.
Woo woo!
Wow.
So thank you, everyone out there who loves listening to our voices, or at least downloads our track.
Yeah, you don't have to like us. You can just download.
No. We are not. This is substance, not numbers.
If everybody could just download real quick.
Hey, you don't have to like it, but you got to listen to it if you download it.
Okay.
All right?
I don't even download it. I mean, think of what the numbers could be if I downloaded it.
We're not getting paid for this, so somebody better be listening on the other side. And as far as I can tell, somebody is. So
There's a couple of people.
Thank you very much, everyone out there. That made me very excited. And it was really cool to see. On tonight's episode, I think we'll have another shorter one. We've been extremely busy, and I don't necessarily bring much experiences since the last podcast to the table, but I think we'll get a little update from Ken on what he's been doing, and we do want to talk about some games. So, Ken, finally, you're back.
I'm back.
You're tan.
When was the last time
You're back.
You're
I'm
spicy.
not tan, though. Look at this blue light just
Yeah, I was going to
microwaving
say,
me.
where's the tan? What's
No
happening?
tan. Well, we were only there. We went to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic, which is the northeastern part of the Dominican Republic, which is the eastern half of an island shared with Haiti. And I actually couldn't point it out to you on a map. I don't know where it is. Where is it? Somewhere south of Florida.
Do they speak French there? I know
Spanish.
Haiti was very French.
It's Spanish. So we're talking east of Cuba, southeast of Cuba, but west of Puerto Rico.
Okay. All right.
We're
I
on
need to
the
brush up on my
never been to
map
Puerto Rico.
skills.
We went there for 5 days, I think, 4 nights, which was too short. If you're going to take all the time to go out there, get
So
the
you
extra.
fly- What's the flight and stuff?
From Minnesota, was 5.5, which is creeping into long territory.
That's long, but I almost would think it'd be longer. So I guess I was kind of, though anything past 3, I'm like, man, I could really move my legs right about now. Like that's when I cut off.
Do you guys want to know a fun fact about that island? That was one of the wealthiest colonies in the late 1700s. It produced, I think, 80% of the world's sugar at one point.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a.
And then what happened?
The slaves revolted and took over the island.
Well, that's
Good for them.
I mean,
Good for
I mean,
them.
I think from what you've told me, that sounds good.
that sounds like a plus, but I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure it was not a pleasant experience.
I don't think it was.
I don't think
it was
anyone
pleasant
was
for
having
anybody.
fun, but
Yeah.
Probably better in the end, though.
yes.
Yeah, hundreds of years later, probably okay.
Exactly.
We went out there and just did a nice all-inclusive resort with my sister and brother-in-law, my wife's sister, and her husband. And I had too many rum and cokes, and
Good, yes.
I had a very unpleasant experience. And
Really?
then just kind of moped around for a couple days because I didn't want to do anything.
Was it day 1 that the horrible rum and coke situation
No,
happened?
it was day 2. So we got in, in the afternoon on day 1, contained our excitement, had food, did all that. I don't know, day 2, we were ready. Me and Uncle Matt were ready to party.
Oh, yeah, baby.
He also did not recover well. It was evidence that we're
that you're not
now.
25 anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say that you've aged.
I did not feel good until maybe Tuesday or today, maybe even.
You might never feel good again. Like,
exactly.
That's the kind of.
It just took just hacked part of my life off. Yeah.
Do you know, like when you get hurt in a video game and there's like a part of your life bar you could recover back?
Right.
That you just don't. That's not there anymore.
It's just
you
a smaller
lose
health bar.
Yeah, lost a heart.
You can't get hungover anymore. It's not something that is in the cards. It's not an option because you'll never recover.
I was not hungover at all. I just did not. I did not want to be involved in anything remotely fun. I said, let's read the Bible and eat a sandwich. I don't know. It was bad.
Well, exactly. The hangover is you recovering the health bar. You don't get to have that anymore. You're just old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you just
exactly.
lost health.
You just die a little bit. Yeah.
You weren't any fun. Come on, you're on vacation.
I know.
Don't worry about it. My wife, she knows how to have fun without me. She's very good at ignoring me. So she went on and partied. No, I'm kidding. They had fun, and me and Matt assisted them in having fun. But it was a great experience. It was very hot. I don't recommend going in April. It's probably close to 90 all the time.
Whoa.
Which that's pretty hot. That's into uncomfortable hot, right?
Well, okay. Let me ask you this though, Ken.
Yeah.
You missed a would you rather from last episode. Would you rather be always hot or always cold? Always cold.
See, that's what I said too.
No. I hate being cold so much.
You can get hot on your own. You cannot get cold on your own.
But
see, this was my exact argument when Ben was yelling at me
hundreds of times.
I hate being cold.
I hate being hot, and you can't cool down.
You can't fix hot. You can fix cold.
Exactly.
You're right. Yeah. And I haven't had an experience with that this week. For whatever reason, the HVAC in the control room I've been spending a lot of time in doesn't work.
Oh.
And so it's either so hot I can't stand it, or it was like literally there's like a doorway to walk in there, and it was a wall.
Like steam.
Multiple people said that feels like I don't understand why there's a wall of heat into this room. Like, what is happening in here? And then today it was like I wish I should have worn my jacket. It was so cold.
Gotta layer it up, especially this time of year. You're in the Midwest. It could be 40 in the morning and 80 in the afternoon. You have to layer it up.
I'm not kidding
you.
So Ryan Quinn shows up today in his most loose knit. It's 100 degree out, and I'm golfing polo. Like the coolest thing he could think to wear, and it was like 50 degrees in there.
Moisture.
And he was like, "No, I've made a terrible mistake." But it was like 100 degrees in there yesterday. I swear.
When I went to pick up the kids today, so the wind today was. Honestly,
it's awful. There's like a snowstorm here right now.
What?
Yeah, it was like 60 mile per hour winds. But every dad was like, this is shorts.
Well, it's been like 60 all week.
No jacket weather. Yes, but today it was like 50 and windy. It was chilly. And every dad just is sitting there with the short sleeve shirt and shorts and acting like they just like don't mind. When I'm like, it is way too cold for that. Yeah, exactly. But oh man!
I
cut off your final vacation summary there.
You know what we did? We went snorkeling, which was really cool. You take a bus to a boat to a fixture out in the water, I
kind of saw Megan's video, so I know what you're saying.
A very, very large deck, for lack of a better word, and we swam with stingrays and nurse sharks. Had the opportunity to hold a stingray. I passed politely because why would you want to do that? I don't know.
It just died a little.
Right. Actually, that was one of the things that saved us because Matt was really dragging. Once you get in that sort of the deeper water, it's a little bit cooler.
Right.
Hungover and jump in that cold water.
It's like
that'll bring you back to life. But saw some cool fish. Saw one of those. It's a flat fish, horizontal, and it goes into the sand and hides. Yeah. saw one
Yeah.
because it's got two eyes on one side
It's
of
on
its
one
body.
side. It's like flat.
It's freaking
Yeah.
scanning.
Isn't that a flounder, or am I thinking of something? I
No,
know
it's
what you're
something
talking
else,
about. I just
though.
don't know what it's called.
I know
Yeah.
from like Planet Earth or whatever, they show them. That's the only reason I know them.
And we were following it because it'll just come up and then it goes back in like 3 feet later. And it's like, oh, it's right there.
That's cool.
It was pretty cool. Didn't see an eel. Didn't see Ursula's eels come out and offer me legs for my voice.
For your voice.
Did you get what I politely refer to as snorkel back, which is when we take our northern Midwestern bodies and lay them flat perpendicular to the sunlight and swim around in cool water, unknowingly burning.
Oh my God.
I did not, fortunately. But I've been sunburned so many times that now it's like I'll go to extreme lengths to not get sunburned.
Yeah,
So,
I
exactly.
was
that was a
snorkeling.
really cool experience.
I was snorkeling on a coral reef in Indonesia one time, and I got to the hotel afterwards, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like lobster red. Like I was.
Right.
Did you put any sunscreen on though?
I can't reach back there.
Okay,
Right.
that's right away.
It's true, though. If you don't have somebody with you who'll put it on your back,
But that
you're
is
out of
when,
luck.
I mean, like sunscreen wise,
swim with
I
a
am
shirt.
willing to flag down a stranger at that point. I
That's
do
true.
not want to be sunburned.
That's true.
I want to be like, hey, creeper, just real quick, get my back,
Yeah.
and then I'll skedaddle. You have to do that at that point.
I was like so sunburned. I thought I would like where you feel like you have a fever because you're so hot
Yes.
from
That's
the
the
sun.
Yeah.
worst.
I
You're
think you
always
texted us
sweating.
that. I remember you were like texting the boys group like you're just dying, and you could just feel heat coming off your body.
When you have to like sleep at night and
Oh
either
my
on your front or
gosh.
your back, depending on whatever the
Oh my
situation is.
gosh.
And there's no blankets on you in the summer and
Yeah.
you're so hot.
Well,
and you just
yeah.
like, there's one position you can lay in.
And that was quite the experience because I got up early to drive all the way back to Jakarta and go on this excursion, which was just like such a waste of time.
Chaos.
Like, okay, it was fine, like snorkeling or whatever, but I didn't. The 2-hour boat ride through choppy
Oh my
waters
gosh.
one
No,
way.
thank you.
it makes me so sick.
And then I
thinking
got
about that.
I got back to the hotel late at night. Now my flight left at like 2 or 4.
AM?
I had to be there at 2 a.m. Yeah, and so I don't think I could sleep. I remember.
Yeah.
Plus your sunburn.
So I flew from Jakarta to
You
Tokyo.
flew sunburned? Oh my god.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
know, right?
And I got now from Tokyo, it's Tokyo to O'Hare, and that was like my flight back to the U.S. And I just finally relaxed. I was like, I'm making it.
Flight.
I'm
Did you
on-
have too much to drink?
I drank so
Yes, you
much
did.
in the like
I remember
Delta
this.
Club Lounge in Tokyo. And then here's
Then you were sweating from trying to not
Right.
throw up hangover in
well,
the plane.
okay, hold on,
World
sport.
dehydrated man, just a piece of beef jerky in an airplane seat.
Like sizzling out of
Exactly.
a shirt.
I was so relieved, or I got so drunk in the airport that then I thought it was a good idea to drink on the plane.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
I started to make really bad decisions. I drank a ton on the plane and passed out, and I woke up. I woke up right before we were descending, and I was like,
That's not bad though.
I was
That's a
trying. I was so hungover. I was trying not to throw up, and I was like sweating as the plane was landing.
Oh.
You know, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna puke on everybody around
I
me."
feel like you're describing a nightmare to me. Like if someone said, first you're going to take a bus ride, then you're going to take a
Yeah.
boat ride in choppy
Yeah.
water, and then you're going to get a sunburn.
Yeah.
You're going to have to wake up early for an airport.
Hold on, you skipped
like,
the part where after the sunburn, I had to take the boat ride back. Then when I got back, there was no. They said there would be a cab. There was no
cab, so
I had
random
to
people.
ask. I had to ask the people who led the excursion. Like they were like
To get you to your
they
hotel,
had
right?
to drive me to the hotel, which
like
meant
in
getting
the
in there.
car.
I had to get in the back of their tiny,
Yeah.
Indonesian vehicle.
This is like,
Yeah.
it's
and
making me
they
like, so
couldn't figure out
uncomfortable.
how to get to my hotel, and they also couldn't really talk to me.
This is a true nightmare, like anxiety to
Yeah.
the
That's
extreme.
why I got
Stressed
so
out
drunk.
hearing about
But
it.
standing in line at customs in Chicago, I was just
Oh,
like,
boy.
it was the most horrible experience ever.
feel like they red flagged you when they saw you.
Yeah.
They're like, this guy looks iffy
This guy's trying
right
to
away.
sneak booze into the country.
Well, the
You look
worst
like
part
someone
about
trying
Chicago-
to keep like drugs in your stomach and not like
Right.
poop them out or something. You're like sweating.
Well, I had to get a connecting flight, but the worst part about it is when you come in internationally into O'Hare, you have to exit the airport,
Yep.
then
then go
get on
back,
an airport shuttle. It brings you to the normal entrance, and you go back through security for a domestic
so
flight. And I was
stupid.
just like, please end this hell.
You're like red from the sunburn, but white from the like trying
Right.
not to puke. And
All right.
ooh.
Gosh, it was so much fun.
Well, sounds like Ken's vacation was way better than that scenario. So
Yeah. Nothing
Sure,
like that.
I have no doubt it was.
that is like the worst of the worst. Like I can't get
Makes
much worse.
makes all trips seem better by just
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit envious. I want to drink too many rum and cokes pass out in the sand and regret it the rest of the trip. That's what I want to do.
I don't want to
too.
do that, but I
Next
wouldn't
time.
mind
We'll go again
drinking
next
rum
year.
and cokes. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're not working, then we can join in.
well, we'll do
it'll never
early in
end.
January, something
There we
like
go.
that. Where
Yeah,
it's
so
not
it's
so
not
hot.
quite so hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we definitely didn't have that weather. We did have like 3 days of 60s, and I'm just trying to get that seasonal depression out.
Yeah.
Trying to soak it up quick, get as much skin to sun ratio.
Take yourself
you-
out there like an old rug and just beat the dust out of yourself in terms of like
Pretty much. All of a sudden, you're like, should I rearrange the whole house?
I'm gonna
when
go
you get out
I'm gonna
there?
go hang from the deck outside. Can you just hit me with a stick in the sun?
That's how it feels when you first go out there. But it's also
Yeah.
been raining like it's, we
Yeah.
know Midland. It's flooding
Yeah.
season. So
It's the only time of the
yeah.
year it rains at all, but we get it all right now. It's monsoon season.
it was very
Crazy.
close to the river. I've been watching it. Very
Well,
close
The
to
dams
sneaking
are
on
gone, so the river. Every time it rains, the river goes way
Gets
up.
All
Gets
crazy.
wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no flooding so far, at least. So that's good. But yeah, anything else happening for you, Ben? You just been
Is
working.
anything happening? I
Been
work
working.
13 to 14 hours a day every day for the past 2 weeks,
Ugh.
and
Why are we
there's no
doing
end in
this?
sight. Oh, it's a startup thing.
No, I mean,
Let's
why
just-
are we doing a podcast then?
Oh, why are we doing a podcast? Because I haven't seen you, and it makes me very. This is
It does
energizing.
feel like it's
look
been
at,
a long
Look at your
time.
beautiful face looking
It
at
has
us.
been a
I'm
while.
so happy
you.
to be back together.
I think the last one we all did together was like beginning of March.
Whoa.
It feels like a month at least.
So
yeah.
Dang.
it's been a while.
Yeah. The last thing we did together was the Great Wall.
Was it?
I-
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it
It
was.
Yeah.
Yes,
Matt
it was.
going down the chain. Oh,
I
man.
got some good feedback on that one. Some folks liked that one.
All right, so what do we want to do tonight? I think I threw out a random idea that I wanted everybody to come with up with a list of 3 games, which I of course did not spend any time doing, but I will. And that was it. I wanted you to come up with a list of 3 games. There was no other
Gosh.
criteria. It was
No,
it could
I-
be video games, board games, whatever. I just wanted you to I wanted a list of 3 games.
You're like having a hard time saying that. I have a couple Instagram questions, and we did play one game because you did take one day off.
That
All right,
game looks
Ken,
cool. I want to
Do you have any?
that game.
Ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Do you
No,
have
no.
anything to share before we dive into these things
I don't think
that you
so.
want me to throw on
TV,
the?
video games, anything you've been
You want me to throw on
doing?
the old schedule here?
No, I got some TV shows and a movie or two we can chit chat about.
We'll
but
get there.
Other than that, no.
All right, then why don't we take it to Emily and she
Whoa.
can tell us about some Instagram questions.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, the first one is from, I don't know, Mr. Clive, Mr. Clive, Merkliv. It's MRCLVK. So who knows? He said, "What is your favorite Uwe game or Uwe Rosenberg game?"
I don't
So
know him well enough.
I don't think. Ken, you
but
probably
I'm sure.
played.
I'm sure I've played some. I don't know.
You probably played.
I don't know that Yui boy very
one or
much.
two, but
Trying
the
to think.
Uwe.
We had
See,
fun playing
Feast-
Noosefjord, Ken, and
See,
Feast for Odin.
Feast for Biden. That was a good one.
Yeah, Feast for Biden. I
Mm-hmm.
assumed you would say Feast for Odin, Ben.
I probably will, but I think it's worth saying how many Uwe Rosenbergs games have I played? Agricola was the one, right? That's the one that got me into gaming. That was my gateway to this hobby.
Did you see that they have was it a new one? They have some sort of special because it's like a 15-year or it's a anniversary something.
I
don't remember
seen
what it was.
That'd be cool.
I posted about it the other day, and I was like, I might have to just get this just because it's like our first game. I don't remember what it was, though. It was either like a cool box or it was kind of like everything was upgraded, like a special edition. I don't remember, though.
But it is worth pointing out, like, I just like Uwe Rosenberg games because that was the first one. That was my game. That was my jam. I mean, and we played 50 games of Agricola before we ever bought any other games. It was the only game we had. But you know, I guess I've never played At the Gates of Loyang, and I'm looking at it right now. We've had it on
the shelf for about 2 years.
There. I've never played Ora et Labora, and I've never played Glass Road. I've also never played his older games, like what's the Bean one?
We played that.
We played half of a game of that, but I've never actually played much of that game.
I can't think of the name of it though.
I've only ever played his newer games. So we've played, I think, all of the tile placement games: the Patchworks, Cottage Garden, Indian Summer, Spring Meadow, the sort of midweight Euros, Reichholt, and Noose Fjord. Again, I haven't played Glass Road, but we've also played. I haven't played Shoot. He has a roll and write where you're drawing shapes. What the heck is that one called? I haven't played that one, but we've played Nova Luna, and I like his heavier games more.
Yeah.
I think my favorites probably is Feast for Odin.
I was gonna say Hallertau. Is that how you say it?
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were raving about that, weren't you?
I just can't
I'm tempted
figure
to say
out.
that one too.
I can't figure out a good way to win that game or to even play it really well. And so it's a very simple game overall compared to his games. It's nothing too complicated about it, but just I can't figure out the best way to do it. So I'm always, if someone was like, "Hey, do you want to play this?" I would always be up for that one.
Yeah.
So that's my pick.
Good pick.
You say Feast for Odin?
I would say A Feast for Odin. Why would I say A Feast for Odin over, let's say, a Caverna or Hallertau? It's just so big. There's so many options that you feel like there's no direction. And I like that openness. I would have liked to have played Fields of Arl more, which is even more open, but you didn't like it. Was so non-directed that you feel like you could get lost in it.
2 players too. It was
a 2-player only game.
It just didn't seem. I don't know.
It was only for 2 players, and it would switch there's the spring and the winter, and there was different actions available. And
maybe it'd be fine, but maybe it was also because we have some of his other games where I'm like, well, what's the point of doing this one then?
It's sort of the one that's this is just for 2 players, so it was a little bit bigger. It would be something that if you expanded it to more people, I feel like it would get out of control and take way too long.
Too long, yeah.
I would love to play that one again, and I really liked Le Havre. I really like that one, but that one has more of a journey through resources where you have to build towards the end game in a way that you don't have to do in these other games.
Yeah.
In, Caverna, Agricola, Hallertau, or whatever, Hallertau especially, you're just trying to make as many of all the resources as you can.
Yeah.
Le Havre, you're building towards the late game resources that you can't really do in the beginning. You're trying to get to the big ships at the end, the steel, the whatever, the big point makers. And I felt like I kind of liked that journey through the resource types. And I feel like you, Emily, don't let me put words in your mouth. We're like, I don't want to have to plan that far ahead.
I didn't want to plan that far ahead, and I feel like it was taking forever, the game, when we played the last time.
Yeah, it's kind of long.
It's long, and I was like, I don't want to think this much or play this long for a game night.
Yeah.
So.
Good answers all around. All right, Em, what's the next question?
Our next one is from Takezo QC. I don't know. It's T.A. Key. Wow.
Oh.
T.A. Key. T.A. Key.
It's TakeZO_QC.
All right, cool.
So however you want to say that.
Awesome.
They were asking about managing work, kids, gaming time scenario.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's though why when people are like, well, I just like this one kind of game. It's like, but I'm not always going to have time for this one kind of game. I don't have every night for Feast for Odin. So that's why I also like the little card games. Or sometimes someone says a game is boring. I'm like, some nights I need a boring tile, whatever, card game. Or I think you just have to have a variety so you can be like,
gotta have options.
Have time for this. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you're playing with someone else, right, you need them to be in the same headspace, which is rarely the case, right? So having options goes a long way to having something to play.
Yeah.
Nice. It depends when you ask, but that's also the answer. I think there is, everybody gets their time in the sun. Right? There's an ebb and flow to everything. Sometimes work is the priority because there's something going on that makes it the priority. Sometimes I'm the priority. We're working towards some sort of fitness goal, like in the wintertime. Sometimes you got to make the kids a priority. That's important too. And sometimes you want to make gaming a priority. And whenever you steal from, or whenever you emphasize one thing, you have to steal from another.
Yep.
I'm working a lot right now. Like I can't overemphasize that, but I also knew that was going to happen, so I didn't work a lot leading up to it on purpose because it was going to get its time. And so, I worked out a lot this winter and spring. And so I think overall, don't let work win out over the other stuff. They talk about work-life balance, but I would say steal as much time from work as you can get away with.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
I agree.
But also, like, if you don't get to a game or a date night, it's like, that's okay. It's not...
Yeah, I mean...
I don't think you need to stress about being like, man, we didn't get this week to... If you're not feeling for, like, a game, watch TV together, do whatever
play
together,
a game.
like something. Yeah. I feel like sometimes it's like, man, we didn't get anything to the table, or people act like they're like stressed about it. It's like, it's not, no one's like asking for a quota at the end of the week. So,
yeah. Well, and don't turn your hobby into a job.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If
you're not feeling your hobby
just
anymore.
Don't worry about it so much.
Congrats. Now you got 2 jobs and no hobbies. Whoops.
Exactly. Right. That's an important point to make. And the other thing is, don't, like you all. I need to remind myself sometimes.
I thought you were beatboxing for a second. I thought you were going to.
I need to remind myself sometimes to prioritize time with my kids because I love my hobbies. Yep. And it's important I think it is important for the kids to see that mom and dad have their own things. They have their time together, and they also have their own things as well. But there has to still be some time for them. And so balancing all that, I find that to be the hardest thing. How much time is for me and how much time is for them.
Hobbies will be there. The kids won't always want to hang out with you. So,
that's true. Yeah.
And not that you have to every time then say yes to kids, but I just mean like think about, age-wise. For example, Liv has a phone now. She's in her room.
Oh no.
90% of the time.
It happened. Oh no.
So if she were like, "Hey, do you want to play a game?" If you were like, "No."
Yeah. You got to go for it.
That would make no sense, Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, she's upstairs talking to a boy on the phone right
what's
now.
up? Big J. JoJo's in 5th grade, but he does 6th grade math, so he's cool.
So she's dating a dork?
I don't.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
I mean, I guess that's fine. Yeah.
That would be better than...
Right. The alternative. JoJo's in 5th grade, but he does 3rd grade math.
He does 3rd grade math. She's helping him with this 3rd grade math.
This is the hardest thing. This question is the hardest thing.
If the kids are like, "Hey, can we go on the trampoline?" And you're like, "Yeah, but I want to paint minis," I think you have to go, "I can paint minis on a rainy day. I can't go on the trampoline with them."
Yeah.
So I think you just have to know what priority do you think in whatever stage of life is the top priority. and like work towards it. But also like it's okay for if you're like, I want to play a game and spend time tonight, to be like, all we have time for is Tussie Mussy, like a 5-minute card game. That's fine. It's still something. You're still hanging out together. It doesn't have to be like we played a giant, massive game all the time.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. And maybe that does lead into the game we do want to talk about tonight, which is sort of a mindless, casual, fun, whatever game. I kickstarted the second run or second edition or whatever of
Super Fantasy Brawl. I had to write it down because I couldn't remember either. Was like the
Emily.
NFL game.
It's like a very sort of generic name, actually, now that I think about it.
Oh, yeah.
It is
Super
generic.
Okay.
You know, I think that's on purpose. I think
Yeah.
it's like this is your run. This is the run of the mill arena
it
battle
kind of is.
Yeah.
kind of
It's
thing.
like it struck me as almost like a MOBA board game or something, like almost everything's a cliche of itself, or
you know what it is? It's like an easier version of Warcry.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
like, right, Warcry, there's like
Cool.
objectives that you're trying to achieve, and you're also fighting your guys, and each of your guys has special abilities or whatever.
Yeah.
But you got to build the minis and have the little
This is
map
like the
and
cartoon version.
all that kind of stuff.
Whoa, my voice went very like
Whoa.
went crazy. Sorry, I sounded like
strong.
I sounded like what's his name from Our Flag Means
Apple bottom
Izzy. That song.
boots with the fur.
Did you see the video that I sent you the
I
other
couldn't
day?
hear it. I tried to listen to it. At one point, there was too much background noise. I couldn't even hear what he was saying.
The one actor in Our Flag Means Death, who his voice is that like the way he talks.
We only watched 2 episodes, though.
Oh, you probably haven't gotten to him yet.
Yeah.
The whole time he's always like, "Hey, you." I came into it. Ben, you're better at it. And I was like, man, this voice he's doing is great. And then I saw just some clip of him like talking at home, and I was like, oh my God, this is his real voice.
Oh, man.
And so I sent it to Ben. He's just like thanking people for watching the show, and he's like in that voice character. To me, I'm like, you're still the character. What is happening? But okay, I'm sorry. Total sidebar there.
All right, so this is called Super Fantasy Brawl from Mythic. And it is, you have a hex-based board that's an arena.
Yeah, I was going to say it's an arena.
And then you have a starting area, your opponent has a starting area, and then there's 3 areas in the middle that are around some statues. We got the Kickstarter, so it has big, huge, fancy miniatures for the statues.
Oh, that's what those were. Cool. Okay.
Which, I mean, you wouldn't need them. In fact, we like kept bumping them, and I almost knocked them over multiple times.
And we got to use the statues.
But
Yeah,
you could also, you
that's
can
cool.
just see where they are too, where it, if anything. But
and then, so you assemble a team of 3 guys from, the base box comes with 6, so you could manage those teams however. But of course, with the Kickstarter, I have a billion. I think
Oh, no.
I have 24 to choose from, and you
Whoa.
build a team of 3.
Right.
And the miniatures are very big. Think about the monsters from Blood
look at
Rage or
that.
Rising Sun. So I
Yeah.
have some examples of an Arcadia Quest mini, which is like sort of like chibi.
Yeah.
Marvel United.
Yeah.
But then if you're looking at this on video, back here you have these giant. They're really big, and they're
probably
very detailed.
like double, if you
Cool.
can't see, like double a Marvel.
I mean, they're
Size.
they're unbelievably
If not a little bit
detailed
bigger.
for a single cast, not a
Yeah.
like build your own mini sort
They're
of.
really nice. Like they're heavy too,
Impressive.
where they're not cheap.
So this is my next painting project. I can't wait to paint these. They're big and they're cool,
they're really cool.
and I
looking.
really want to paint them.
I want one.
So you pick 3, and each comes with a deck of 7 cards or 8 cards or something like that. So then you shuffle. I think it's I don't know how many, but you shuffle their cards together, and you have a deck of all 3, and there's 3 color cards in the game. On your turn, you have 3 colored runes, so you can play a red card, a blue card, and a yellow card. But they may be for different heroes. They may be all for the same. So they activate your heroes to do different stuff. So I had a wizard lady who had a bunch of ranged abilities, but she was super squishy. Like if she got too close, she got killed right away. She had 0 defense and low health. Emily had this dwarf guy who had tons of defense. He was like impossible to kill. Mm-hmm. And then you had some sort of ranger character that liked to be on traps that was just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that girl. And then I had a pirate. I had a good team. Like I randomly picked them, but it worked out really well.
So if you kill an opponent's player, then you score a point. They'll come back. They like infinitely revive, but they have to come
just go to like home base, kind of thing.
And also there's objectives that are sort of like there's like a track of objectives, and then where they are on the track is worth a different number of points. So they're worth like 0 at first, and then 1, 2, 2, 1, and then they go off the track. So you're trying to achieve those objectives or knock out the other players, and the first person to get 5 victory points wins. It's super simple. You just play 3 cards on your turn to do a couple of things. There's also reaction cards that you can play on the other player's turn, but you have to spend your tokens to do that, so you'll do less on your turn.
But I mean, for the most part, it's like pick a red card, pick a blue card, pick a yellow card. And the objective might be like have 3 heroes or whatever they call them next to each statue, or have them in the blue zone, or like super simple. So it really is. I think it only took us like 30 or 40 minutes.
Nice.
It was really quick, and we had just learned it.
Right up our alley in terms of like,
yeah,
we don't do games longer than an hour generally.
And it reminds me of like Dice Throne mixed with Arcadia Quest, and the fact that you're just doing the like I'm dealing 2 damage to you. Like, yes or no, can you deal with it? And that's about it. It's not this, like, big time, well, I have this special card. Like, there's a few of those. But for the most part, it's like, can't do anything, take the damage. Or I have a shield, so I just take 1. So it's that simple, just, like, fighting back and forth. And, yeah, I don't know. It was, like, a fun, quick game. It's quick. The only thing I don't like is there's so many guys. Then you have to, like, get out the box of guys and find the guys to match the cards and find the card, but I mean, it's still shorter than most games, so.
Yeah,
cool.
I can't wait. These are going to be so cool to paint.
They will be cool paint.
And then it's easy to play, so they get pulled out all the time, I hope. We'll see.
When did you just got this from the Kickstarter, hey?
Like a week ago. And I think I kickstarted it. I don't even know how long ago. I'd have to go look it up.
Well, I just pre-ordered it, so
it's super cool.
In 2 years, maybe I'll get it. But
no, I bet you would get it real soon. But I don't even think, man. I do think that you would like this. It's so strong. You know how to play it. I just taught you.
My game. Yeah. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Fast, 30 minutes. Okay, let's go play again. I like games that's like, all right, let's play again. I'm going to beat you this time, right?
Will could play this. Elsa would like to play this.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cool.
All right. Let's move on to the moment that I'm unprepared for.
I was going to say, are you ready?
I want to hear everybody's 3 games. This is video games, board games,
could be movies.
Whatever. Give me your 3 things.
Do you want me to go first?
Here's what I want. I definitely don't want to go first, but I would like to make this a new segment of the Day Night Dice podcast that comes up occasionally, and it's our 3 things, and it's just 3. It's just 3 things you want to talk about. When we have nothing else to talk about, what are the 3 things you want to talk about?
Oh.
And Emily, you look very prepared.
I'm prepared.
So I'm going to let you go first.
I pulled up a PDF. I am. Okay, so my 3 things are group games for cabins or a summer hangout.
Yes.
Because that's what I'm most excited for, is when you have that, like,
game.
Yeah, the, like, group at the cabin or on a deck or whatever. So you need multiple people to play, and there's going to be some people that don't want to play that much, and some that do, but you have to pull out something.
Yeah.
So I wrote down a few games, so then I picked my top 3. So my main games for this, though, is I picked Unlocks, Chronicles of Crime, Monikers, Skull King, The Game, and The Crew. But then I'll go over my 3 that I picked.
Okay.
Okay, so my first one is Unlock. So when we used to go, we haven't the past couple of years because of, like, COVID and who knows what. We used to do like a cabin for a week with Ben's family, and we would always bring an unlock. So it's like the pack of 3 that you have, and everyone was excited to do it. Like whether or not people like games, everyone was excited to do those because you start out with the easy one, and then it gets a little bit harder and harder, and everyone feels like they're contributing. Everyone gets to participate at whatever, amount they want to.
Exactly.
Whether it's like, hand me the whole card, or they're just kind of like, hey, do you guys think of this? And that's all they throw in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then when you finish it, everybody is excited that you like solve the puzzle. And I feel like that's a must for a cabin game.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that, Ben?
I was thinking about my 3 things. What was your first one?
Unlock.
Oh man, I love Unlock.
I just remember last time we went to the cabin, we did one, and we were like, I don't know, did people like it or not? And then the next night, everyone was like, do we have the second one or do we not? Like they were asking. So we're like, well, yeah, we do. Do you want, And so everyone right away is like, hand me the map, like trying to figure things out. And also, if you find a clue in those, you're like, you're so excited. You're like, how did people not see this? I saw this. Yeah,
you're idiots. I friggin' solved it.
So
exactly.
Surrounded by morons, I swear.
And I would say we have played, as far as I'm aware, maybe there's a more recent one that has come out, but as far as I'm aware, we have played every Unlock that has come out, and they have only gotten better.
Yeah.
Every box that comes out is better than the one before because for whatever reason, it's like they get more and more creative. And I think this is the difference between Exit and Unlock. And some people like Exit because there are no boundaries. And I like Unlock because giving the designers having the boundaries of the card system and the app forces them to be creative, and they've only gotten better at it.
Yeah.
Right.
Exit is like, go look outside. Do you see where the moon is? And then you're all of a sudden like...
Are you playing this on March 32nd?
No, I think you're absolutely right. If you don't have any rules, you can be lazier, I think.
Yeah.
And this is sort of universally true. If you're boxed in, those people who make those games have to be very clever to give you something new and interesting. And they have to be smart. And we've never played any exits or unlocks, and we need to because we won the Star Wars ones from you guys.
Yeah, you guys have that one.
It's on the shelf.
Oh, those ones are good.
Yes, those
the
are fun.
3-pack. Yeah. I think the Star Wars setting actually is a deterrent in this case. I need some generic ones first. I know they're not it's not like, oh, I remember from the movie that Yoda said this.
The Star Wars ones are a little bit different than the normal ones, where they kind of give you more clues or more like jobs or info, or there's something where you kind of get a little...
Well, there's the one where you're like going around on a map and stuff.
Huh.
Yeah, but they kind of give you like a secret, like, here, use this card when you want... I don't remember.
It does. Totally. The Star Wars one runs in its own app, where all the other ones are in a completely different app. Yeah.
Huh.
But I don't know. I always love unlocks. Exits, we always sit there forever. Yeah. We do like half of it, sit there, and then go, are you kidding me? Once we look at the answer of something.
Yeah.
And then I just get mad. And then if you wanted like a bit more from an unlock, Chronicles of Crime, I feel like is like the step up. You're solving a crime. You're still kind of doing the same thing, but it's a bit more interactive with everyone participating. So that was my next thing. But game number 2 is The Game, which we have played with Ryan and Natalie. We don't own this game.
We don't. We should.
Now, this is like the most simple game ever. But I think it's so much fun because...
The Game, huh?
I don't know. Once again, it's so simple, and that's what you need at like a cabin, a hangout, whatever.
It's so the premise is so dumb, right?
It is dumb.
You have two. You have
Do you want me to explain this? You're like struggling.
No, I'll explain it. So you have 4 stacks of cards, 2 of which are going in descending order, and 2 of which are going in ascending order. So they start at 99 and they go down, and they start at 1 and they go up. And everyone else is then dealt out the cards that are...
You only have 5 at a time.
You only have 5 at a time, and you have to play 2 of them on your turn. And your cards might be nowhere near where the current stacks are. You're going to screw up the order.
You have 23 and 26. And so you have to put it on a stack, but once you put it there, you can't go back.
There's no going. Well, there's only one way to go back, and if you go if you have a order of 10, so if you want to go back from 26 back down to 16,
or up if you want to go the other way.
So
as long as it's 10,
there's a lot of table talk of like, all right, don't play any more cards on that pile.
Well, that's the other thing.
I'm begging you. Do not play on this pile.
The other thing is you can't say what your numbers are, so you can't talk about it. So you can say do or don't go on a pile, but you can't say I can do the plus 10 here, blah, blah, blah. Like, you can't be specific.
And you get in a situation where somebody's like, well, I don't know what to do because you don't want me to play on this pile, and I'm going to wreck this pile, and you don't want me to play on this pile, and this one's already blown up. So what do you want me to do? Because I'm going to make somebody unhappy right now. I don't have many choices.
Right, you're going to skip over someone else and whatnot. But it's, I don't know. I feel like it's just fun and
it's so
goofy.
Simple.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so much game. And so much like nothing. I don't understand it.
But it's also where you're like, oh, we messed up. We didn't win. Game, Just start over.
Let's go again.
And you just do it again quick. Which I feel like is great for like a late night cabin scenario.
Not the 1997 film starring Michael Douglas, rated R.
That would also be okay for a cabin.
You can also do that.
We should do that for a D-list, the game.
Ooh.
Have you seen that?
I think it's pretty good.
It probably is. I could go for some good D-lists.
Well, I was looking at, or Amazon or something was recommending movies to me, and they were all bad because all of our last
messed
purchases
up the algorithm.
Yeah, they're all like the wall.
You've destroyed
they're all
the
horrible
algorithm.
movies, and they're like, "Wow, you love this kind of shit."
We have spent so much money on renting bad movies.
If you guys would like to.
I think I rented and we didn't even do it for D-list. I rented The Amazing Spider-Man 2 3 times at $4 a piece. And you get like a 48-hour window to finish it. I never finished it. I have not completed that movie. I kept going back to it and never did it.
We did it. We watched it because Olivia wanted to.
That's because Liv's obsessed with Tom Holland, and she had to watch.
She had to do some Spider-Man research because he's obsessed with Tom Holland.
She had to know what it's like to not have Tommy H.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Who's this Andrew Garfield guy? She had to really know for sure he's not
I'm sure
the
she
true
still
Spider-Man.
Likes Andrew Garfield, though.
He's got the hair.
He does.
He does have like a. He's got
wig.
A lot. And then my last game is The Crew, which is a trick-taking cooperative card game. So the one I like the most, though, is the Mission Deep Sea one. Because the way you pick the cards, like depending on what number you're on in the booklet, and you kind of grab cards so you have more than one objective. I couldn't think of the word. So it's things like I will win 2 tricks in a row. I'll win as many pink as yellow cards. Like I'll win using a 3, like kind of thing. I don't know, that game, I've never played with anyone who had a problem with that game. It's always fun. You can start super simple. It just gets more and more fun with everyone. I don't know. I like it.
If I had to make a list of like top 10 games or something, I have absolutely no doubt that The Crew would be in that list.
In your top 10?
Yeah. It is fun always.
And I know we've said this before, but like Ben's dad never plays games, but he'll play The Crew.
It's the only game he'll play.
It's the only game.
And we did say this before, but it's the kind of game where he sat down to play it. We played a few rounds, and he got up and was like, all right, I'm done. And he came and sat back down.
And he was like, you know what, one more. And he like runs back to the table kind of thing.
He went and he sat and he thought about it. He's like, no, wait, I get it now. Right? And
you know what the perfect analogy is? It's like, well, we can't quit on a loss. Right? You can't quit on a loss. But also when you win, it's so good. You're like, well, we got to keep this rolling.
We got to see if we can do the next one.
So you never stop.
Table's hot. Got to keep playing.
But that game is so much fun. I don't know. That's always a good one. And I feel like maybe not through an unlock, but like the game and The Crew, you can still kind of like chit chat too, and you haven't totally lost the game.
Right.
Which for like a cabin, summer, hangout kind of scenario, I I don't know. You want that like relaxed.
You're making
atmosphere.
me nervous because I realize we need to book we're probably too late. We got to book our cabin vacay.
Dunzo.
We're late, aren't we? Yeah. Damn it.
In January, you should have been.
Yeah, I know. We need a friend with a cabin is what we need.
Right. You need to buy one and then have everybody come to your cabin.
Rent it out until the week. Yeah.
Probably good. Jeez.
It's insane though. But that's my top 3.
That was an excellent top 3. That was especially with like this time of year coming up. I just want to play that. I want to play that whole list.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Let me get in on that.
I just enjoy those games where you're like, I don't know, should we play something? It's like getting late and you're sitting outside for a while.
You got a little time after. You got a little time before. It's not. It's not the night finisher. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the executioner.
Ken, do you have a top 3 prepared? I am
ready. That
was
too good. I don't know. Now I got nothing. Go ahead. If you're ready, go ahead.
My top 3 for tonight, right now, my top 3.
Okay.
Is
without further ado.
Here's top 3.
My top 3. Here's the thing.
Not top 4. Not top 2.
I just built a brand new computer. And
you new video games?
I'm hot off the back end of Elden Ring. Elden Ring has just was an obsession.
Sorry. This seems like someone your teacher said the speech needs to be at least 10 minutes.
right.
You're rewording
exactly what it sounds like.
Like, just tell us what you're talking about.
Elden Ring. Right?
Right, guys. Here's the problem.
It is a video game.
We have done multiple podcasts about Elden Ring, and I'm not gonna keep talking about it, but I want to keep talking about it. I'm still obsessed with it.
You can say
and
it's in your top.
It is it's not in my top. No, but I'm gonna. Well, it is in my top 3, but I can't stop playing it. I tried to play Tunic, which is sort of like an isometric Dark Souls Castlevania sort of thing with a bunch of mysteries. Cool game. Awesome game. It's on Game Pass. It's free. It's really fun. But man, I went right back to Elden Ring.
But I hate it. No.
But what Elden Ring did in its obsessive hold on me is it took me away from a lot of other things, including board games and including Friday Night Lights, which I like to refer to our Friday night online gaming. And I could do Rainbow Six. I could do Warzone. Man. I could do whatever. I'm going to tell me to download a game and install it. And I don't have anything installed right now. I just built a brand new computer. There's nothing in there. You tell me what to install.
Honestly, you need to queue it up tonight because tomorrow's Friday. So you got to
my goodness.
Get your stuff ready.
Is it a Rainbow Six Friday?
I hope so. It's been forever. It's been a couple weeks.
I'm in. So I want to.
Do you have a top 3 though?
My number first one. No, the first one is online gaming with friends.
Okay, well I don't know.
Rainbow Six or Warzone or whatever. I want to get back to it. I want to get on the Discord and I want to pwn some noobs.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go play that deathmatch mode in Rainbow Six. Sounds horrible.
Ugh.
So. Yeah, online gaming with friends is number 1. Number 2 is I have been away from the brushes for too long. It's time to get painting again. And with all this what's it called? Super Fantasy Star Brawl or something like that.
Yep. Cool stuff.
Big, beautiful minis that showed up. I want to prime some of these minis and get to painting. I feel like the Instagram Marvel United competition from last year, which took hold of me.
It's been a year since we did that.
Insane.
Right? Which took hold of me similarly to Elden Ring. I mean, I was like losing sleep over planning how to paint these minis. But it turned me from I was dabbling in painting to I felt like it forced me to learn and get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I kind of want to get back to it and be like, all right, well, what if I just like paint some stuff for fun, just for fun? Now, we learned how to do all this stuff and now I'll just go do it.
We have some paint on its way, some other paint. So once that comes, you're gonna are you gonna try to do a challenge or are you just gonna paint?
We might do a showcase on the Instagram. Maybe we get some other people involved and get some other people painting and be like, all right, we'll do bi-weekly. Bi-weekly, is that every other week or is that twice a week?
2 weeks.
We'll do a bi-weekly painting showcase where people can show what they're working on, what they're painting.
Yeah.
Maybe you just use like the same hashtag or something.
Yeah, we're not going to do a competition like last time, but I just want to say, hey, here's what everybody's been working on. Yeah, we potentially do have some Army Painter paint coming in. Army Painter may sponsor in some way, shape, or form the painting showcase, so we'll see if that comes together. And we'll get some painting.
Try it out and stuff.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. And my number 3 is so I did not have the brain power leading up to this. We keep talking about this work thing. It's just a startup or whatever. But I was working very hard on it, and I didn't have the brain power to learn new rules. And I am looking forward to knocking out some of these heavy games that have been sitting there staring me in the face. Bitoku is sitting on the shelf. I really want to play that. Shoot, what's that zoo game?
Do we have a zoo game?
Shoot, I can't remember what it's called. It's not. We don't have it yet, but it's. I thought I pre-ordered it.
But you bought a zoo game?
Sure.
What's going on? Well,
but there's a couple of.
I know we have Meadow, we have Streets, we have Bitoku.
I want to start knocking those down. Like, I'm excited to play some new games. I want to play One Small Step, which we have on loan from Ryan Quinn. That's a 2-player space race game. It's been on loan
for like 4 years, so I feel like
it's going to happen. That'll happen. Alma Mater. There's a lot of games over there that I think are really good games that I want to play, and I'm excited to get to them. So, my number 3 is knocking out the Shelf of Shame.
Oof.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you can.
That's my top 3 right now. What do you guys think?
Okay.
Not bad.
What do we think?
What do you think?
Not bad.
That once again, and you end your like talk in front of the class, and the teacher's like, you didn't do any of the bullet points.
And the topic was of mice and men.
Yeah.
Would you like me to talk more about Elden Ring?
right.
Elden Ring is a game. That's how it starts.
I did throw up a really long playthrough video up of Ray Lucar Academy as a mage, and I got destroyed by that stupid Carrion Knight because he's very resistant to magic damage.
When you're a mage. Yeah.
And my sword does half magic damage, so I was doing half damage to him the whole time.
That guy was harder than every boss I've fought so far. Yeah.
You know what I did? I got him kind of down in health, and then I spammed the spell that's like a backstab, where it like appears behind them and stabs them in the back. I just spammed that over and over again, and he just kept walking towards me, taking it.
Yikes.
Okay, here's my top 3.
Brooke. Ken's Kitchen.
I don't know what it is. It is Ken's Kitchen.
What's cooking in Ken's Kitchen?
It is
top
Ken's
3
Kitchen.
recipes.
No, learn how to make a pan sauce from your chicken or your beef.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm just, go find Ethan Chablowski on YouTube. He just did this. Go figure out how to mix fat, flour, and seasoning. So you have a little sauce for whatever you cook.
What was his name?
Ethan Chablowski.
Ethan Chablowski.
CHEBLOWSKI, I believe.
All right, you got it. I'm
Learn how to make
check it out.
Pan sauce, because you already dirtied the pan anyway. Throw in a tablespoon of butter and that sort of thing. What's my other top 3?
Top 3 rum and cokes on the beach.
The first 3, not the last 3. Pull the toaster out from under your cabinets when you toast so you don't melt your cabinets. That's kitchen tip number 2.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually melt modern cabinets. I did it.
Have you done that?
Yeah, did it. Caught heat for it.
Did it? Done it?
So you're saying like this
drift
heat
into the
and
pull
then
it out from under there. Like yours are wood.
Yeah,
yours are nice wood, but
it just gets warm.
Ben's like concerned.
This is the worst top 3 ever. I don't know.
You're right. We do have nice, heavy wooden cabinets.
You have real wood cabinets.
We have legit 400
new cabinets now are coated in like all sorts of shit.
I do feel bad for having disposed of some of those really nice wooden cabinets. But what was I going to do? Just leave them sitting around?
We had so many.
Save them forever, right? That's what our parents would do.
But they were so heavy when we tried to
I'll build a bench on it in the garage.
The Lord will let you take that with you when you die. He's okay with that.
How dare you cover up those wooden floors instead of resurfacing
Oh my gosh, the amount of times we heard that.
They're in a horrible shape. I'm not going to touch them.
In the background of a family conversation, you could hear Ben's mom going, "Did you see their floors? They were gorgeous under there."
I'm sure they weren't. They looked like garbage.
Real wood. Yeah. It's just like, well, sorry, we ruined your life with that.
I love this. Ken's Kitchen is learn how to make a gravy from your pan drippings. Do not melt your cabinets with your toaster.
Should I also? How often do you clean out your toaster? Do you clean it out? Never. Okay, good.
No. You don't.
That's how you
what are you talking about?
Toast.
Well, right. I feel like lately we've got something in it that's burning. Like we need to.
Yeah, now it's a smoker, not a toaster.
Right. Put a little piece of ham in there, smoked.
I put my bacon in there, but I mean.
No, I don't have another top 3.
Oh my gosh, if you put a slice of ham
you know
in there.
You know what my other kitchen tip is pressure cookers are overrated. Don't get those. Got one.
I never.
It doesn't even make rice well. So.
Oh, wait. So, what is your favorite kitchen utensil? Some big toaster. What I can't.
I was going to say trick answer, an actual sharp knife, but.
That's true though. Oh my gosh, ours go dunk cutting an apple, and you're like, wow, my finger can do a better job right now.
Cut a tomato, and it just. Turns into
a mushes.
It looks like if you squeezed mozzarella, it just gets narrower and narrower.
That is where we're at
until it becomes two tomatoes.
Yes.
It's just a smushed pile on there's no cut.
We just have crushed tomatoes by the end.
Get a good sharp knife. I would say a decent blender, and I like because I've been goofing around with mine in terms of making sauces.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big sauce man. Get some dill, lemon, yogurt.
Oh yeah, okay.
Cut up. Mm-hmm. You can heavy cut or large dice cucumber. Make a tzatziki sauce.
That's my favorite.
Is there some garlic in there too?
If you want, I like mine just dill and cucumber. A little salt, a little pep. But then that thing does all the work. I mean, because we use it's actually just a NutriBullet, not a blender.
Thing,
and then you got the big old clear cup of the tzatziki. Yes.
Yeah.
Just drink
and what I like about a tzatziki
goes over everything.
It's not particularly salty. It's a little bit salty, but it's almost more sour, and then from the yogurt and the dill, and then you just soak whatever you're putting on in that.
You can't.
It's all about the
tzatziki on anything.
No, you can't. You actually can't. It's the one thing. It's the one thing you would never eat by itself. But if there's anything else on the plate, there can't be too much tzatziki on there.
So good.
You could take a cucumber slice and just the surface tension of that tzatziki is gonna look like a balloon on top of the cucumber.
Yes.
So good. I'm in pain right now.
I'm drooling.
That is my.
This is. I changed my top 3. It's tzatziki sauce.
My summer dream
All
meal
three
is grilled chicken and veggies, some rice and good bread with that sauce.
Rice. You know what? Here's a bonus tip for rice. But go ahead and finish. I got a hot tip.
No,
for
I was just gonna say that, and you just put that tzatziki sauce all over.
It.
Right.
It's like milk for cereal.
Swimming in tzatziki.
4th bonus tip.
Grilled chicken is like the cereal, and the tzatziki is the milk.
I would eat that. I would
too. I would eat that with a spoon.
So if you like your rice not sticky, it turns out, and maybe I'm sure it's going to depend on the type of rice. You can't use a nishiki, but if you got a jasmine or a basmati, cook it in a flat pan. Get your water in there boiling. and then just sprinkle it in. Close it up, set it for 20 minutes. Something about, I think, the surface area of the water, it doesn't stick together at all. It's really like that. It's like
I know what you mean. Where it's like a
most Indian food uses really. Most Indian food has really. I don't know what the term is.
This is great for audio. Everybody's just rubbing their fingers together.
Like if you were like money, like
I don't know what the term for rice that doesn't stick together.
I know what you mean when it's like individual grains almost.
Yeah,
like
that's what it is. It's very
I don't know, like
separate grain rice.
Wow, we're horrible talking about food, but yeah.
So I started that. Then you start goofing around. Get your flat pan. Throw in a tablespoon of butter. Even if you're using jarred spice, toast up your spice a little bit in the butter. Then you get your water in, boil it, get your cup of rice, 20 minutes. You got your gallon of tzatziki on the side, your grilled chicken. With the punch bowl of tzatziki sauce that you just...
so
it's in that big wide
it's a big glass
wide.
And it's on ice. Right?
What? So wait, are you normally putting spices in with your rice when you cook? What do you put
when he
in?
cooks it in a flat pan? He does.
It depends.
What you like what you doing?
So I've been meal prepping a lot.
You're just hungry.
I'm so hungry.
I do. Well, I make the tzatziki
This is like
sauce.
euphoric for you.
I am like excited right now. This is why I can't watch cooking shows. When Ben's like, let's watch a cooking show. No, it's nighttime. Like I'll straight up be like, now we got to go eat.
And then I'm going to go make something really disappointing because we don't have all these ingredients. I'm going to make like it's cheddar cheese inside of a tortilla. I made a quesadilla.
Exactly. Okay, sorry.
Tzatziki. Go get yourself a pound of lean ground turkey, pound of lean ground beef. You're going to crumble that up together. Mm-hmm. You're going to season it like beef kafta, Kafta. It's got cinnamon, allspice. It's Lebanese. Yeah, it's really good. Then you take the rice. It is. You put in
it is. Like
you put in the pat of butter. You're going to go with a little bit of garlic, turmeric on rice.
Yeah.
Out of sight. Just unreal. Shit. And then you just put in your rice and your water. And you get this beautiful golden rice with this spicy sort of like earthy beef and turkey.
And like bad popcorn upstairs.
You ladle the tzatziki on. And it's just yogurt. You can eat as much of that shit as you want.
Right?
There it is.
Okay. Well, shit.
I'm really hungry.
All right. Well, we all changed.
End of the podcast.
We've all changed our top threes to tzatziki, kafta beef, and
I just want rice.
And for everybody at home, tell me I'm making kafta wrong. I know it's lamb and beef. I'm trying to reduce the fat. Plus, I don't know where you find a pound of ground lamb.
Or like
ground turkey is like free.
We actually have at the farmer's market. There's like a lamb or like a sheep farm, lamb farm. Like
we'll make the real stuff in the summer.
No, but I just mean like we actually have one down the road because it's
That's sweet.
I don't know what it's called, but they're always at the farmer's market. But other than that, like I wouldn't go to the store and be like, let me get some lamb. Or I feel like it would be who knows where it's coming from and how old.
I don't want big box store lamb.
Yeah. I would rather be like, I know that your house is 2 miles down. I'll take it from there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You gotta go to Jack's to get your lamb.
No, farmer's market.
Jack's is cool. Okay. I like Jack's.
Jack's is good too. But...
All right, guys. This is perfect for me. I'm glad we had sort of a shorter show tonight because I have had a lack of free time. So this is perfect. I have been indescribably tired, I would say.
Yeah. Cranky is the word.
Cranky is not the word, and my family has been very what's the word? Like
tolerable?
Yes, helpful.
Tolerant?
Tolerant.
Not tolerable, tolerant of you.
Tolerant. of my work schedule, and I very much appreciate it. And for everybody tuning in and all of our listeners and our 5,000 download threshold, which is awesome. I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. If you want to contact us or send any feedback or say anything to us, you can shoot us a DM on Instagram or shoot an email to benmdatenightdice@gmail.com. And if you want to talk to Ken, send it there anyway, and we'll send it right to him. And until next time, from everybody here at the Date Night Dice podcast, we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.